Hi, Bobcats. I'm Mrs. Weissman and I teach fourth grade. And I'm excited to tell you about a new book in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. It's book number 15 and it's called The Deep End. And I'll read the back for you and then I'll read a few pages also to you. When Greg Heffley and his family hit the road for a cross country camping trip, they're ready for the adventure of a lifetime. But their plans hit a major snag and they find themselves stranded at an RV park that's not exactly a summertime paradise. Things only get worse for the Heffleys when the skies open up and the water starts to rise, making them wonder if they can save their vacation or if they're already in too deep. Sounds like a really good book. And this just came out a few weeks ago. I'm so excited to start reading it. Let's go. August, Thursday. I love my family and all, but I don't need to spend 24 hours a day with them, 7 days a week. And that's exactly the way it's been around here lately. It's not just me who's getting tired of this either. We're all going a little nuts. And if things don't change soon, I think we're going to go off the deep end. Mom says we've been cooped up for too long and we just need a vacation. But what we really need is a vacation from each other. That's not going to happen anytime soon, though, because we don't have any money. And the reason we don't is kind of a long story. We've been living in Grandma's basement for 2 months, and I don't know how much longer we can keep going like this. Mom says that one day we'll look back on this time and smile, but she's not the one who has to share a futon with Roderick every night. The crazy thing is, Grandma's got plenty of room in her house, so I don't understand why our whole family has to stay in her basement. When we first got here, I called dibs on the guest room, but Grandma said it was already taken. I don't think Grandma's too thrilled we're living with her because whenever her friends come over, she asks us to stay out of sight. And that's kind of inconvenient since there isn't a bathroom in the basement and her friends always stay forever. We can't use the kitchen when Grandma's got guests, which means we can't eat dinner until after they're gone. But last night, I guess Roderick got sick of waiting, so he heated up some leftover pizza in Grandma's dryer. There's no TV in Grandma's basement, so the only thing we've got to entertain ourselves with is each other. And believe me, that's not enough. Mom says being bored is good because it makes you use your imagination. But whenever I try it, I always end up imagining the exact same thing. Something that's making this situation a lot harder is that Dad is working from home this summer, which means he's always around. And whenever Dad has a meeting, the rest of us have to pretend we're not there. But that's not always easy to do, especially when you've got a 3-year-old in the family. Most of the time, I just try to keep myself busy. Grandma's got stacks of puzzles down in the basement, and I've done a few of them by myself. But Mom always lets Manny put in the last piece to make him feel important. If you ask me, I don't think Mom's doing Manny any favors by babying him, and it's gotten a lot worse since we started living at Grandma's. Sometimes after dinner, we'll play a board game as a family, but Manny can't handle complicated rules, so we always end up playing a game that doesn't require any skill. We have to go to bed before it's even dark outside because we're all on Manny's schedule. These days, Manny's favorite bedtime story is a Noah's Ark picture book. It's about this guy who hears it's going to rain for a really long time, so he builds a giant boat to ride out the storm with a bunch of animals. The illustrations in Manny's book are all cartoons, and they make it look like a flood that wiped out half the earth was kind of fun. But I guess if the drawings were more realistic, parents probably wouldn't buy it for their preschoolers. I've got some questions about the Noah's Ark story, though. For starters, I want to know why Noah let in venomous creatures like snakes and scorpions on board. Because if it was me, I would have used the opportunity to leave a few of those guys behind. And then I would have used the extra space for more of the good animals, like puppies and hedgehogs and those pygmy hippopotamuses. Luckily, Noah didn't have to make room on board for whales and fish because they would have taken up a ton of space, and they probably didn't even know the flood was happening to begin with. But it doesn't make a lot of sense that Noah let birds on the ark since they could have just flown. And I bet he regretted that decision right away. All right. That was a preview of the first few pages of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Deep End. I hope you enjoy this book. I can't wait to keep reading. Bye, Bobcats.